Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. What is up? Today I am showing you guys my brow tutorial. Ba-dum. Finally, right? Okay, after all of the different videos where I'm just like, okay, I'll be back, I'm gonna do my brows now, I'm gonna finally show you how I do them. So I have 4 different products that I'm gonna show you guys that I use. Well, I show you 3 of them, but I gave you another option for like a drugstore option. But yeah, so I am a pencil girl right now. I'm using brow pencils versus a brow pomade. Most of the time I use a brow pomade when I'm doing more of a dramatic look and I want really, really clean brows, but most of the time I want something that looks natural, that looks fluffy, feathery, all that good stuff. So these are my brows. I'm showing you guys the Benefit Precisely My Brow, the Goof Proof from the same line, and the Glossier Boy Brow to set my brows, and then also a drugstore option of the Brow Stylist Plumper. Other drugstore options for like your brow pencils, there is a really good one from L'Oreal. So the same line, this brow stylist, there's the brow definer from L'Oreal. That's super awesome, really, really great. And also NYX has great, like a micro brow pencil, I think is what they have. So those are great, great options as well. So we're just gonna get right into it, you guys. I'm gonna show you how I do my brows. I cannot leave the house without my brows done, I swear. Never. I feel like they shape your face and just make such a big difference all the time. So, absolutely love it. If you guys want to see how I do my brows, please like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Alrighty, you guys, so we're just gonna get right into this. Also, 2 pencils that I'm gonna show you guys today that have been my all-time favorites, honestly so far, is from that Benefit line. So I have the Precisely My Brow and the Goof Proof brow pencil. So typically I use one or the other. Sometimes I mess with both of them because I can get more fill with one of them versus the other, and it honestly just depends which one I'm in the mood for. But they are both super, super great. I am in the shade 5, which is just a super dark. So here's the Goof Proof. It has more of that like angle little dealy, and so there's that one. You guys are so pigmented. And then here is the Precisely My Brow is more of a thinner pencil. So yeah, you can kind of tell the difference between the 2. So they're both super great. I usually, have been using these ones. Otherwise I have used like the Anastasia Brow Wiz and the Brow Definer in the past, and those are both really, really great too. It's probably just preference. I'm sure if I bought both of them, I would still use them just as much as my Benefit brow products. So let's just get into it. I guess I might just show you one brow with the Precisely My Brow and the other brow with the Goof Proof, just to kind of show you how they both perform. Okay, so you guys, first things first, get yourself a mirror so you can get up close and personal with those brows. We're just gonna go right into the Precisely My Brow. So of course, brushing up those hairs. That's kind of usually how I start it, is just brushing through them, because I typically do my brows after I powder my face, so there's powder everywhere. And basically what I do is take off both my caps, because I kind of flip back and forth between my spoolie and between the pencil. So let's go. So honestly, how I kind of start things is I start by carving out my outer arch and then forming my tail. I kind of start on the outer edge and then I work my way inward, because I want the center part of my eyebrow to be a little bit more faded and not so bold, as I'd rather have my tail. So I want the tail of my brow to be bold and sharp, and the inner part to kind of be wispy and fluffy, if that kind of makes sense. So we'll just kind of start out lightly using this brow pencil and just creating more of an arch here. So, and once I get the arch that I like, like that. I'm going to kind of draw a straight line using small strokes to create my tail. Okay, so there's that for my tail, and then a lot of the time I'll just use my spoolie to fade out that color a little bit so it's not so harsh. Okay, so now that I've created kind of that top shape, then I will kind of brush those hairs up on that outer tail and then still just work my way down to create the other side of the tail. And again, I'm being really, really light-handed because it is still creating a pretty dark line. Okay, so I have really the shape that I like for that outer part of my brow. Okay, and then what I kind of do from here, it kind of just depends. I do things differently every single day, and just kind of how I, like the order that I want to do it just kind of depends. So how I'm basically going to start is I will go from here and kind of connect all the way to that tail. So super light-handed, very, very light-handed, you guys, because you don't want a sharp line. You want it to look natural, or at least that's how I am. If you want a sharp line, go for it. But I like more natural looking brows. So I'm just going to really, really lightly create the rest of the shape of my brow. And so as I get to this part, as it curves, I kind of create a straighter line. That, and I'm going to do the same thing on top, very lightly, and just create that line that way. Okay, and so now that I've created that, we're just going to fill in. So really light strokes with that pencil. I want it to be deeper from here out, but as I get more to that inner part of my brow, we're going to go upwards and very, very lightly create hair strokes. Use that spoolie and kind of comb it through. Okay, if you make a mistake like that, I just kind of use my finger and wipe it away. So, brush through it, spoolie through it, it's all good. Alrighty, you guys, there is one brow. So, now that I have one brow down, I've combed through it, kind of dispersed that color a little bit more, then I go in and I set it with a brow gel. So now what these brow gels do, so I either use my Glossier Boy Brow or I use my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. They're both super great, but what it kind of does is it tames those brow hairs and keeps them in place so that your product stays on and your brows don't fade and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to go in with my Glossier Boy Brow. Mine's in the shade brown. And I'm going to comb my hairs kind of upwards to make them look a little bit fluffier, not like they're matted down or anything like that. Gives them kind of a nice little natural look. So there is one eyebrow, and we will do the other one using another product. Now for the other eyebrow. So for some reason, this eyebrow is like shorter and brought in, like way in this way. Like all these hairs decided to just leave and not be a part of my brow. I don't know why. So this one is a little bit more difficult to fill in, but you know what? Our brows never look the same, and that's okay. They don't need to look the same, it's fine. So we're gonna go in with the Goof Proof Brow Pencil. So this one is more of an angled, thicker shape. You kind of cover a little bit more ground with this type of brow pencil. And so yeah, we're just gonna kind of do the same thing that I do on this side and just do it on this side. Yeah, they honestly give me more of a similar look. Sometimes I end up having a bolder brow with this one because it's just a little bit bigger, and so sometimes it's a little bit harder to work with, but sometimes I don't mind it. So let's just get into it. I'm just gonna do the same exact thing as I did on that other brow. So yeah, here we go. So again, I am creating that arch. This product covers a lot more ground than like the smaller pencil does. So I kind of have to work slowly so I don't mess up. And we're just gonna drag it down and create that tail. And see, just like that. Like that was almost easier than this side, but you know, sometimes it's just not as precise. And again, brush up those hairs. And you know, it might not always match the side, and that's okay. That is just fine. Alrighty, and so then we're just going to do this bottom part again and kind of create a straight line. As you can see, like right here, I have a little bit of more of an arch right here where hair is not growing, and so sometimes I'm gonna fill that in and create it to be a little bit straighter, like how this one kind of goes like that. We're gonna do the same thing, create that shape. So from here, we're gonna go down to where the bottom of those hairs are, and just lightly brush. Small brush strokes, creating a straight line. Okay, and so just like that, it was pretty easy to fill that in. We're gonna drag it in more towards the center. And same thing as the side, we're gonna now create that shape, straighter line on top here. And so sometimes if I wanted to mimic this brow for the most part, my straighter line this way will also help me form my arch out here. So my arch was a little bit lower, and then once I added that straighter line, it kind of brought my arch up a little bit higher, and that's okay because it's kind of mimicking this side a little bit better. Okay, and so now is the part of filling in this side without being too harsh. We're gonna do super light brush strokes with this product, and so it's very important to kind of really lightly do it because you can see like it's very bold. You have to be very light-handed. And it takes practice and time, but that's okay. And so I'm gonna take it up and down like this and just slowly and lightly fill in the inner part of my brow. And so it really depends too how far in you want to bring it, but as you can see, it's kind of, this brow is coming into right where my eye socket or whatever curves in, and so I'm going to do the same here. So I'm probably going to bring it in to about here. We're going to go for it. Alright, you guys, so that is basically it. We're gonna set this brow using my boy brow again. Okay, you guys, there you have it. I could probably add one more little step. So we'll go for it. So I have inner corner highlights. Sometimes what can really help bring out those brows and make them pop is highlighting that brow bone, highlighting your brow bone. So I'm gonna use the same thing as I did on my inner corner. So I used my Dose of Colors highlighter. So you can use anything from a shimmer highlight to a matte bone colored highlight. But we're just gonna go in with this. I'm gonna pick up this Morphe E14 brush, and all I'm really going to do is just highlight it right here, just that arch. We don't need to drag it all the way. I'm just gonna do, since I'm doing more of a natural look today, we're just gonna do it in this specific spot right here and bring some life to that brow bone. There's that. Do the other side. Alright, you guys, this is it. This is my finished brow tutorial. What do y'all think? Okay, that's it. I'm annoying, but I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I had fun filming it. Like I said before, I cannot leave the house without my brows done. And so brows are super essential in my makeup routine, as is foundation and mascara and all that stuff like that. So a lot of the time, if I'm leaving the house with no makeup, I do not leave without my brows. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Coming up next in my next tutorials, you will probably see like a what's in my travel bag. I'm going on vacation in exactly 2 weeks from today, and I'm so excited. I will probably take you guys along with me. I'm going to Hawaii, so yeah, super excited. But I'll show you guys a what's in my travel bag. I'll probably show you like a bronzy, tan, glowy makeup tutorial too, since I'm just gonna be in that vibe. That's okay with me. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.